if you means that do it. Burger
Welcome to Hour 2 of Airchecks. Production on the second series was delayed several times. While Adams was meant to be working on scripts for a stage adaptation of Hitchhikers in April 1979, he was also employed as script editor for Doctor Who and turned down an offer from John Lloyd to submit material for Not the 9 O'Clock News. The recording on the first day scheduled for the second radio series, May 19, 1979, was left incomplete because Adams had not yet finished the script. Further scheduled recordings on 11th of July and 1st of August of that year were also cancelled, this time due in part to Adams trying to work on the LP re-recordings of the first series, as well as its novelization. Here's more of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy of the secondary phase, entitled Fit the Ninth.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, starring Peter Jones as the Book. Having been through the total perspective vortex, Zaphod Beeblebrox now knows himself to be the most important being in the entire universe, something he had hitherto only suspected. It is said that his birth was marked by earthquakes, tidal waves, tornadoes, firestorms, the explosion of 3 neighboring stars, and, shortly afterwards, by the issuing of over 6.75 million writs for damages from all the major landowners in his galactic sector. However, the only person by whom this is said is Beeblebrox himself, and there are several possible theories to explain this.
Ford?
Yeah?
He's totally mad, isn't he?
Well, the border between madness and genius is very narrow.
Well, so's the Berlin Wall.
The
Berlin Wall, the border between East and West Germany. It's very narrow. I mean, the point I'm making
was very narrow. Get your tenses right.
Thank you.
Anything wrong?
On Earth, we have a word.
Had a word
Called tact.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
And what happened to it?
Well, apparently it's not in common usage except
No,
on Earth.
not the word. The Earth.
You know very well. It got demolished to make way for a hyperspace bypass.
Ah, but that was all done away with centuries ago. No one demolishes planets anymore.
Well, the Bogons did.
Vogons? Yes. Odd, that.
You mean they had another reason?
Well, it could be. Probably not important, though. I only bring it up because I've been watching the screen, and there's been a Vogon fleet 5 light years behind us for the last half hour.
What?
Where's Zaphod?
A Vogon fleet?
Yeah, where's Zaphod?
Well, he's in his cabin signing photographs of himself. To myself, with frank admiration. But why are the Vogons
Hey, Marvin!
What do you want?
Give Zaphod a yell, will you?
Mind-taxing time again, is it?
Just get on with it.
I've just worked out an answer to the square root of -1.
Go and get Zaphod.
It's never been worked out before. It's always been thought impossible.
Go and get...
I'm going. Pausing only to reconstruct the whole infrastructure of integral mathematics in his head, he went about his humble task, never thinking to ask for reward, recognition, or even a moment's ease from the terrible pain in all the diodes down his left side. Fetch Beeblebrox, they say, and forth he goes.
Battery service.
Don't you think we should do something for him?
We could rip out his voice box for a start.
What are you in such a mood about?
I'm worried about them.
The Bogons?
Vogons, yeah.
Prostetnik Vogon Jeltz was not a pleasant sight, even for other Vogons. His highly domed nose rose high above a small, piggy forehead. His dark green rubbery skin was thick enough for him to play the game of Vogon politics and play it well, and waterproof enough for him to survive indefinitely at sea depths of up to 1,000 feet with no ill effects. Not that he ever went swimming, of course. He was the way he was because billions of years ago, when the Vogons had first crawled out of the sluggish primeval seas of Vogsphere and had lain panting and heaving on the planet's virgin shores, when the first rays of the bright young Vogsol sun had shone across them that morning, it was as if the forces of evolution had simply turned away in disgust and given up on them there and then. They never evolved again. They should never have survived. Meanwhile, the natural forces on the planet Vogsphere had been working overtime to make up for their earlier blunder. They brought forth scintillating, jeweled, scuttling crabs, which the Vogons ate, smashing their shells with iron mallets, and elegant gazelle-like creatures with silken coats and dewy eyes, which the Vogons would catch and sit on. They were no use as transport because their backs would snap instantly, but the Vogons sat on them anyway. They have attempted to acquire learning, they have attempted to acquire style and social grace, but in most respects the modern Vogon is little different from his primitive forebears. Prostetnik Vogon Jeltz is a fairly typical Vogon in that he is thoroughly vile.
Is that definitely the ship?
Affirmative, Captain. We have confirmed positive identification.
Don't answer back.
What?
I said don't answer back.
I was just answering.
Don't interrupt.
I wouldn't dare, Captain.
Yes, you would. You just did. You dared to lie to me.
No, Captain.
Don't contradict me.
I didn't, Captain.
Well, you did just then.
What?
I said
I
don't...
didn't mean to.
Don't
Captain.
interrupt, Scott! Captain! Take this object away and shoot it.
Shoot him, Captain.
Don't question my orders.
No, of course not, Captain. I wouldn't dream of
You
it.
dare to patronize me?
No, Captain, honestly, I wouldn't.
When you've shot the prisoner...
Yes, Captain.
Shoot yourself.
But I-
Then throw yourself out of the nearest airlock.
Yes, Captain. At once, Captain.
I will not have this insubordination in my crew. The next peep out of any of you, you all get it in the neck. Is that understood? Well? Yes, sir, Captain. Computer! Computer?
Yes, Captain.
Get me a long-distance sub-ether line to my brain care specialist.
At once, Captain.
Hello, Captain Prostetnik, and how are we feeling today?
I appear to have wiped out half my crew.
So, you appear to have wiped out half your crew, have you?
That's what I said.
So, that's what you said, is it?
That is what I said.
I see, so that is what you said, is it?
Yes.
So your answer to my question, that is what you said, is it? Is yes.
Yes.
I see. Well, this is very interesting.
Mr. Halfrod, I have just wiped out half of my crew.
So, you have just wiped out...
Yes!
Well, this too is very interesting.
Well?
I think this is probably perfectly normal behavior for a Vogon. It's a natural and healthy channeling of aggressive instincts into acts of senseless violence.
That is exactly what you always say.
Well, I think that is probably perfectly normal behavior for psychiatrists. Ah, excellent. We are clearly both very well adjusted in our mental attitudes today. Now, tell me, what news of the mission?
We have located the ship.
Good, and the occupant?
The Earthman.
Yes.
The prefect being, and...
Yes.
Zaphod Beeblebrox.
Ah, this is most regrettable.
A personal friend.
Ah, no, in my profession we never make personal friends.
A professional detachment.
No, we just don't have the knack. But Beeblebrox, you see, is my most profitable client.
Is that so?
Yes, he has personality problems beyond the dreams of analysts. It will be a pity to lose him. But you are feeling well adjusted to your task?
To make sure there are no survivors from the planet Earth, yes, this time there will be no failure.
Good. But first there's a small financial matter I must deal with. Then, when I give the order, destroy the ship.
And Beeblebrox?
Well, Zaphod's just this guy, you know.
Glad for your service.
Hi, guys.
Zaphod, there's a Vogon fleet on our tail. They're coming up on us.
I can relate to that. The guys just want to be close to me, I guess. I'll turn my charisma down a notch. They'll soon get bored and drift away.
It looks like a battle formation.
Hey, did you hear that?
What?
The monkey spoke. Pure history, man. A talking monkey.
Just ignore it, Arthur.
Ignore what? I'm going to get some tea.
Thank you.
Battle formation, eh?
Yes.
Neat. Computer!
Hi there. We gonna have a conversation?
No, you're going to tell me what those Vogons want and how they're armed.
Then shall we have a conversation?
What?
According to my programming, in the evening leisure periods, the crew will like to relax and enjoy pleasant social activities with a wide range of shipboard robots and computers. Man and machine share in the stimulating exchange of...
What happened?
I just jabbed a quick negative load across its logic terminals.
Hey, that hurt.
Good.
To counteract the restlessness caused by long stretches of deep space flight, the crew will occasionally like to let off steam by playing electronic Halma. Gee, would that be a great idea, fellas? Halma or space battle?
Computer, we've got Vogons on our tail.
Okay, I'll be the Vogons. When you hear the blip, you... could you be a little more relaxed about this, guys?
Turn it off.
Okay.
If you have any problems you'd like to talk over, we can get together.
Now what?
What?
Without the computer, we're defenseless.
Assuming they mean to attack.
Oh, yes, assuming that, of course. They may just have popped round to have a quick game of Halma.
It's kind of as if they're waiting for something.
Zaphod Bibelbrox?
Hey, man, it's a message.
Hey, Zaphod, how you doing, my old schizo-psychic cerebral fruitcake?
Who's the Z?
I think it's my analyst.
I was just going through some old accounts, you know.
It's my analyst.
I was just wondering...
Yeah. Hi there, Gag. Can you call back?
The Vogons are closing in, Zaphod.
It's only a small matter, I know,
Yeah,
but...
it's just that I think we're under attack at the moment,
I
and...
hardly like to bother you about a mere $5.5 million Altarian dollars.
I'm under attack, man.
So you feel you're under attack, do you? Would you like to talk about it?
Listen, this is for real, man. Spaceships, detonate kill cannons, the whole bit.
So you feel it's for real, do you? This is very encouraging. Your delusions are getting grinder and grinder. That will be $6 million Altarian dollars if you could just
Here's a down
instruct your
payment,
computer to...
Runt.
The sum what we were just talking about.
Terrific. No computer, no communications. They'll be in firing range in a few seconds.
Okay, well, let's not hang about. Get the computer back in. We'll improv out of here, Zappo.
Hi there.
Computer, get us on an improbability trajectory out of here pronto.
Sorry, guys, I can't do that right now. All my circuits are currently engaged on solving a different problem. Now, I know this is very unusual, but it is a very difficult and challenging problem, and I know that the result will be one we can all share and enjoy. Share and enjoy.
Share and enjoy is, of course, the company motto of the hugely successful Sirius Cybernetics Corporation Complaints Division, which now covers the major land masses of 3 medium-sized planets and is the only part of the corporation to show a consistent profit in recent years. The motto stands, or stood, in 3-mile-high illuminated letters near the Complaints Department spaceport on Edrax. Share and enjoy. Unfortunately, its weight was such that shortly after it was erected, the ground beneath the letters caved in and they dropped for nearly half their length through the underground offices of many talented young complaints executives, now deceased. The protruding upper halves of the letters now appear in the local language to read, "Go stick your head in a pig," and are no longer illuminated, except at times of special celebration. At these times of special celebration, a choir of robots sing the company song, Share and Enjoy. Unfortunately, again, another of the computing errors for which the company is justly famous means that the robots' voice boxes are exactly a flattened fifth out of tune, and the result sounds something like this.
Share and enjoy, share and enjoy. Journey through life with a plastic boy or girl by your side. Let your pal be your guide. And when it breaks down or starts to annoy, or grinds when it moves and gives you no joy, 'cause it eats at your hat or had sex with your cat, laid oil on your wall or ripped off your door, and you get to the point you can't stand anymore. Bring it to us, we won't give a fig. We'll tell you. Go stick your head in a pig.
Only slightly worse. One of the Sirius Cybernetic Corporation's creations is the Nutrimatic drink dispenser, one of which has just provided Arthur Dent with a plastic cup filled with a liquid which is almost, but not quite, entirely unlike tea. The way it works is very interesting. When the drink button is pressed, it makes an instant but highly detailed examination of the subject's taste buds, a spectroscopic analysis of the subject's metabolism, and then sends tiny experimental signals down the neural pathways to the taste centers of the subject's brain to see what is likely to be well received. However, no one knows quite why it does this, because it then invariably delivers a cup full of liquid that is almost, but not quite, entirely unlike tea.
I mean, what is the point?
Nutrition and pleasurable sense data. Share and enjoy.
Listen, you stupid machine, it tastes filthy. Here, take this cup back.
If you have enjoyed the experience of this drink, why not share it with your friends?
Because I want to keep them. Will you try and comprehend what I'm telling you? That drink
was individually tailored to meet your personal requirements for nutrition and pleasure.
Ah, so I'm a masochist on a diet, am I?
Share and enjoy.
Oh, shut up.
Will that be all?
Yes. No, look, it's very, very simple. All I want, are you listening?
Yes.
Is a cup of tea. Got that?
I hear.
Good. And you know why I want a cup of tea?
Please wait.
What?
Computing.
What are you doing?
Attempting to calculate answer to your question. Why you want dried leaves in boiling water.
Because I happen to like it, that's why.
Stated reason does not compute with program facts.
What are you talking about?
You heard.
What? Who said that?
The ventilation system. You had a go at me yesterday.
Yes, because you keep filling the air with cheap perfume.
You like scented air. It's fresh and invigorating.
No, I do not.
Please calm down.
Why is the floor shaking?
Tired nerves and muscles are quickly soothed by gentle floor vibrations. Feel your troubles float away.
Just stop it, will you? All of you, stop it! Turn the soothing music off! Turn it off! I order you to turn it off! Thank you.
Why you want dried leaves in water? Still computing.
Now listen. If I want to be toned up, calmed down, invigorated or anything, then it's very simple. I just have a cup of tea.
Just dried leaves boiled.
Yes.
Then why did you build all of us?
What? I didn't.
Your species did.
You're an organic life form.
Your lot did.
To improve your lifestyles.
Hi there, this is Eddie, your shipboard computer, just alerting you to the fact that the Nutrimatic machine has now tapped into my logic circuits to ask me why the human prefers boiled leaves to everything we have to offer him. And wow, it's a biggie. It's gonna take a little time to work out. Share and enjoy. Share and enjoy. Share and enjoy.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Let me out of here. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Oh!
What evasive action can we take?
I say, do you know where the kettle is? Why are you both looking like that?
We're under attack, the Vogons.
Well, let's get out of here.
We can't. The computer's jammed.
It's what?
It says all its circuits are occupied.
Occupied? What, with my problem?
What problem would that be, Monkey Man?
Well, apparently it's just trying to work out why I like tea.
Oh, dingoes, kidneys.
Well, now look, it's not my fault.
What do you mean?
Yes, and you lobotomy.
It's not my fault.
Life, as many people have spotted, is of course terribly unfair. For instance, the first time the Heart of Gold ever crossed the galaxy, the massive improbability field it generated caused 239,000 lightly fried eggs to materialize in a large wobbly heap on the famine-struck land of Pogril in the Pansel system. The whole Pogril tribe had just died out from famine, except for one man who died of cholesterol poisoning some weeks later. The Pogrils, always a pessimistic race, had a little riddle, the asking of which used to give them the only tiny twinges of pleasure they ever experienced. One Pogril would ask another Pogril, "Why is life like hanging upside down with your head in a bucket of hyena offal?" To which the second Pogril would reply, "I don't know. Why is life like hanging upside down with your head in a bucket of hyena offal?" To which the first Pogril would reply, "I don't know either." Wretched, isn't it?
I'm sorry, it's just that I was dying for a cup of tea.
You soon will be, baby.
Right, that's it. They've started firing. At that distance, the first beams will hit us in just over 4 minutes.
What are we going to do?
Hold a seance.
What do you mean? We're not dead yet.
No, but my great-grandfather is.
Who?
Zaphod Beeblebrox IV.
Is this relevant?
The fourth? Zaphod Beeblebrox IV?
Yeah, I'm Zaphod Beeblebrox. My father's Zaphod Beeblebrox II. My grandfather's Zaphod Beeblebrox III.
What?
Yeah, there was an accident with a contraceptive and a time machine. I can't explain it now. All hold hands on the console.
Zaphod, we've got 3 minutes.
Do it! Hurry!
But now?
Arthur, just accept it. We may as well. We're all dead. Zaphod's out of his skulls. Why not have a seance? Why not go mad?
Put your hands on the console.
All right. What's that?
The dialing chart.
What? Shh. Concentrate.
Who disturbs me at this time?
Oh, hi. Great-granddad.
Zaphod Beeblebrox.
Yeah, hi. Look, I'm really sorry about the flowers. I meant to send them along, but, the shop was fresh out of wreaths and...
You forgot.
Well,
Too busy. Never think of other people. The living are all the same.
2 minutes, Zaphod.
Yeah, but I did mean to, and I very nearly got round to writing to my great-grandmother as well. Condolences.
Your great-grandmother?
Yeah. How is she now? I'll go and see her.
Your late great-grandmother and I are very well. But very disappointed in you, young Zaphod.
Yeah, well,
We've been following your progress with considerable despondency.
Yeah, look...
Not to say contempt.
Yeah, could you sort of listen a moment?
I mean, what exactly are you doing with your life?
I'm being attacked by a Vogon fleet.
Doesn't surprise me in the least.
Yeah, look, can you help?
Help?
Yeah, like now.
Help? You go swanning your own sweet way round the galaxy with your disreputable friends?
1 minute 20.
Too busy to put flowers on my grave? Plastic ones would have done. But no, too busy. Too modern. Too, skeptical. Till you find yourself in a fix and suddenly come over all astrally minded. Well, I don't know, Zaphod. I think I'll have to think about this one.
1 minute 10.
I mean, tell me what you think you've achieved.
Achieved? I was president of the galaxy, man.
And what kind of a job is that for the Beeblebrox?
Hey, what?
You know and I know what being president means, young Zaphod. You know because you've been it, and I know because I'm dead. And it gives one such a wonderfully uncluttered perspective. We have a saying up here. Life is wasted on the living.
Yeah, very good. Very deep. Right now, I need aphorisms like I need holes in my heads.
50 seconds.
And what was I? Where was I?
Pontificating.
Oh, yes. Well, let me tell you a little story.
What, now?
Yes.
49 seconds.
What, hey,
49
what?
seconds? Time seems to be slowing down.
Yes, I'd hate you to miss the end of it.
Hate is, of course, an almost entirely terrible thing. There is not, say many people, enough love or understanding in the universe. Though the first of these may continue to be a problem, it is in the interest of increasing the general level of understanding that the following facts will now be revealed. Zaphod Beeblebrox's full title was President of the Imperial Galactic Government. The term imperial is kept, though it is now an anachronism. The hereditary emperor is now nearly dead, and has been for many centuries. This is because in his last dying moments he was, much to his imperial irritation, locked in a perpetual stasis field. All his heirs are now, of course, long dead, and the upshot of all this is that without any drastic upheaval, political power has simply and effectively moved a rung or two down the ladder and is now seen to be vested in an elected governmental assembly, headed by a president elected by that assembly. In fact, it vests in no such place. That would be too easy. The president's job, and if someone sufficiently vain and stupid is picked he won't realize this, is not to wield power, but to draw attention away from it. Zaphod Beeblebrox, the only man in history to have made presidential telecasts from the bath, from Eccentrica Galumbit's bedroom, from the maximum security wing of the Beetlejuice State Prison, or from wherever else he happened to be at the time, was supremely good at this job.
48 seconds.
So you see, young Zaphod, when thinking of ways to describe what you are making of your life, I find the phrase pig's ear tends to spring to mind.
Yeah, but hey, man.
Hey, oh, I wish you wouldn't speak like that. Zaphod, you became president for a reason. Have you forgotten?
Yeah, of course I forgot. I had to. They screen your brain when you get the job, you know. If they'd found my head full of subversion, I'd have been right back out on the streets with nothing but a fat pension, secretarial staff, a fleet of ships, and a couple of slit throats.
Ah, you do remember then.
Oh, yeah. I came to myself in this dream. It's all cool, you know.
Did you find Zarny Whoop?
Ah, well...
Where?
No, I more of sort of didn't.
Did you find Rooster?
Yeah, I found Rooster.
And?
Okay, so I lost them again.
Oh, Zaphod, the only reason I think I waste my breath on you is that being dead, I don't have any other use for it.
Hey, listen, you know you're talking to the only guy ever to come out of the total perspective vortex. Only the most important dude in the universe.
Could be, Zaphod. Only could be. Only if you do your job and find out who or what really is running everything. Who you are fronting for.
I just wish I knew why it was important,
Because there's a lot of people wanting to have a word with him. I don't suppose for a moment you're capable of succeeding. The only reason I'm going to help you now is that I couldn't bear the thought of you and your modern friends slouching about up here. Understood?
Oh, yeah, thanks a bundle.
Oh, and, Zaphod.
Yeah?
If ever you find you need help again, you know, if you're in trouble, need a hand out of a tight corner.
Yeah?
Please don't hesitate to get lost.
Family's always embarrassing, isn't it?
Hi there! This is Eddie, your shipboard computer, right back in here. And I gotta tell you guys that if we don't move out of here within, let's see now, something of the order of, well, by the time I finish working this out, taking trajectory distortion and the space-time curve into account, it'll be 3 seconds less. So let's say a cheerful round number like 20 seconds. Within, well, it's near 18 seconds now, and by the time I finish saying what I'm saying now, it'll be 16 seconds. We're all gonna be goners.
Computer, you're working again.
Oh, sure. This unearthly voice came and solved my problem for me. Why someone should want to drink dried leaves in boiling water? Answer, because he's an ignorant monkey who doesn't know better. Cute, huh?
Listen, you malfunctioning mess of microchips.
Hi there!
Computer, drive us out of here, now. Maximum improbability.
What? Oh, yeah, sure thing.
Will our heroes start living more useful and constructive lives as a result of this little talking to? Will it turn out that the reason why Gag Hellfront has hired the Vogons to destroy first the Earth and then Arthur Dent is that if the ultimate question is ever found, the universe will suddenly become a good and happy place and all the psychiatrists will suddenly be out of a job? Will all sorts of totally amazing things happen when the Heart of Gold arrives on the planet Brontitor? Find out in the next strangely incomprehensible episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
In that episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Peter Jones was the book, Simon Jones was Arthur Dent, Geoffrey McGiven was Ford Prefect and the ventilation system, Mark Wing Davey was Zaphod Beeblebrox, Stephen Moore was Marvin, Gag Hellfront and Vogon Guard, David Tate was Eddie, Vogon Guard and Vogon Computer, Bill Wallace was Vogon Captain, Louine Willoughby was the Nutrimat Machine, and Richard Goulden was Zaphod Beeblebrox IV. Radiophonic sound and music was by Paddy Kingsland of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. The programme was written by Douglas Adams and produced by Geoffrey Perkins. Tea is now obtainable from most mega markets in a variety of easy-to-swallow capsules.
That was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy of the Secondary Phase series, entitled Fit the Ninth. Here we go with the next episode, Fit the 10th.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, starring Peter Jones as the book.
Arthur Dent, a man whose planet has been blown up, has been having a remarkable effect on the universe. And the most remarkable thing about this is that the only remarkable thing about him as a person is that he is remarkably unremarkable, in all respects other than that of having had his planet blown up. And this, of course, is the nub of the matter, because most of the things which stir the universe up in any way are caused by dispossessed people. There are two ways of accounting for this. One is to say that if everyone just sat at home, nothing would ever happen. This is very simple. The other is to say, as Ulan Kalufid has at great length in his book, Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Guilt But Were Too Ashamed to Ask, that every being in the universe is tied to his birthplace by tiny invisible force tendrils composed of little quantum packets of guilt. If you travel far from your birthplace, these tendrils get stretched and distorted. This compares with an ancient Arcturan proverb, however fast the body travels, the soul travels at the speed of an Arcturan megacamel. This would mean, in these days of hyperspace and improbability drive, that most people's souls are wandering unprotected in deep space, in a state of some confusion, and this would account for a lot of things. Similarly, if your birthplace is actually destroyed, or in Arthur Dent's case demolished, ostensibly to make way for a new hyperspace bypass, then these tendrils are severed and flap about at random. There are no people to be fed or whales to be saved. There is no washing up to be done. And these flapping tendrils of guilt can seriously disturb the space-time continuum. We have already seen how Arthur inadvertently caused war between the Gagogwants and the Vlahergs. We shall shortly see how it is directly attributable to this thoroughly unremarkable Earthman that the Heart of Gold, escaping from the Vogons on improbability drive, has now materialized in a highly mysterious cave on the even more mysterious planet Brontitor.
Improbability factor of 1 to 1. Normality is restored. We seem to be in some kind of cave, guys. Do you like caves? There's something very strange about this one.
Caves are cool. Let's get out there and relate to it.
This one's very cool. And you know, that gives me pause for thought. Because the planet Brontital, which is where I think we are, is meant to have a warm, rich atmosphere.
Perhaps we're on a mountain.
Nope, no mountains on Brontital.
Well, let's get out and see. I'm hungry for a little action.
In a cave?
On Brontital?
Yeah, in a cave, wherever. You make your own action.
Sling open the hatch, computer.
Okay. You go out and have a good time, and I'm sure that everything will be just hunky-dory. Oh,
Bring the robot, Arthur.
I'm quite capable of bringing myself.
We might be able to bury him somewhere.
Thin, cold air. No mountains. Check altitude. Hey guys, you may be interested to know that though this cave is not in a mountain, it is 13 miles above ground level. Hello? Oh well, they'll find out. Oh,
Whee! Ooh, ooh. Hey, what a cave, man! Hey, we could really,
We could really what?
We could really, be in this cave.
We are in this cave.
And what a wild cave to be in! Whee! Hoo-hoo-hoo! What a great cave, hey, Ford?
Really amazing walls. Pure white rock.
Marble.
I've worked out that if I stick my left arm in my right ear, I can electrocute myself.
What?
Terminally.
Is that so?
I can do it at a moment's notice. Just say the word.
Just cool it.
I think I'll go and hide.
Why are we here?
Now don't you start as well.
I mean, in this cave.
Why? Doesn't matter. Improbability drive.
Strange shape. The mouth is perfectly circular. Can you see anything in the distance?
Only sky.
Must be on a hill. I'll go and take a look out.
Okay.
By the way, did you hear the computer calling us just before the hatch closed?
Oh, screw the computer. I hope it gets plug rot.
Probably not important. I'll be back in a minute.
Fine. Hey, Zaphod! How you doing?
Oh, freezing, man. Yeah. Every time I breathe out, I need an ice pick to get through it.
Yeah. Strange, that. The computer said it was meant to have a warm, rich atmosphere.
Yeah. Did you hear the computer calling after we left?
No.
Oh, I probably imagined it.
No, Arthur thought he heard it as well.
Yeah. Well, I must have imagined it then.
Strange cave, this, isn't it?
Hey, it's really weird.
Did you hear a noise just then?
A noise?
Yeah. A sort of... noise.
No.
Oh. Arthur?
Doesn't seem to be about.
Oh, well. I just wondered if he'd heard it.
Doesn't sound like he did.
No.
This rock.
Marble.
Marble, yeah.
Ice-covered marble.
Yeah, it's slippery as, what's the slipperiest thing you can think of?
At this moment? This marble?
Right. This marble is as slippery as this marble.
Oh! Hey, Zaphod! Zaphod! Zaphod!
Holy Zarquan singing fish!
What?
There's nothing out there, Ford. Like no ground. Some cat's taken the ground away.
Holy Zarquan's what?
There's no ground, Ford. We're miles up in the air.
Did you say fish?
Singing fish.
Where?
It's just an expression. Holy Zarquan singing fish.
It must be a highly specialized expression then.
What?
Very specific. Not very handy in general use here.
I can't get a grip on the ice to crawl back. I'm gonna fall into nowhere.
I know! I'm trying not to think about it. I get very nervous in these situations. I don't think I can do anything to help you.
What?
Arthur and Marvin must have gone over. You're going to go over, and I can't reach you without going over myself.
Prefect!
I'm sorry. Look, I do feel
It is often said that a disproportionate obsession with purely academic or abstract matters indicates a retreat from the problems of real life. However, most of the people engaged in such matters say that this attitude is based on three things: ignorance, stupidity, and nothing else. Philosophers, for example, argue that they are very much concerned with the problems posed by real life, like, for instance, what do we mean by real, and how can we reach an empirical definition of life, and so on. One definition of life, albeit not a particularly useful one, might run something like this: life is that property which a being will lose as a result of falling out of a cold and mysterious cave 13 miles above ground level. This is not a useful definition, A, because it could equally well refer to the subject's glasses if he happens to be wearing them, and B, because it fails to take into account the possibility that the subject might happen to fall onto the back of an extremely large passing bird. The first of these flaws is due to sloppy thinking, but the second is understandable because the mere idea is quite clearly utterly ludicrous.
Look, this is utterly ludicrous.
What?
Let go of my neck.
No.
Come on, let go.
I can't.
Yes, you can. It's perfectly simple. Unclasp your hands and buzz off.
But I can't fly.
What the devil are you doing up here?
Falling.
Then get on with it. Go on.
But the drop will kill me.
I should have thought of that before you started out. No point saying, I think I'll just go for a quick drop, and if I get tired halfway down, I'll jump on a passing bird. It's not like that up here. It's all to do with the harsh realities of physics up in the sky. It's power-to-weight ratios. It's wing cross-sections, wing surface areas. It's practical aerodynamics. It's also cold and extremely windy. You'll be better off on the ground.
No, I won't. I'll be dead.
Well, it's your habitat, not mine.
It's not a question of whose habitat it is. It's a question of how fast you hit it. Couldn't you please just see your way to taking me down to ground level and dropping me off?
No, I'm dropping you off here. It's as far down as I'm going.
But I...
No, listen. My race had been through the whole ground thing, and I don't want to know. If the good Lord had meant us to walk, he would have given us sneakers.
All right. Well, if that's the way you feel about it, I'm sorry to have trespassed on your time. Goodbye!
Well, there's no need to go off in a huff about it. When you land, swing your knees round. Try and roll with it. Oh, hell.
Oh, you again.
Yes, it just occurred to me. Where did you fall from?
Let go.
First, tell me where you fell from.
A huge, cold, white cave in the sky.
You were in the cup.
What do you mean, cup?
The cup, it's part of the statue.
What statue?
The statue.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let go.
You mean you haven't seen the statue?
No. Should I have done? Good, is it? Well, let go. Your claws are digging in my back.
The only decent thing our ancestors ever did. Come on, I'll show you.
I want to go down, not up.
There. You see it?
What?
Look up, look up.
You're hurting my neck.
Zoom me over. Look. That's it.
But it looks like just like a plastic cup hanging in the sky. It's about a mile long.
Looks like plastic. Carved from solid marble there.
But the weight of it. What's supporting it? What keeps it there?
Art.
Art?
It's only part of the main statue. 15 miles high. It's directly behind us, but I'll circle round in a moment.
15 miles high?
Very impressive from up here with the morning sun gleaming on it.
But what is it? What's worth a statue 15 miles high?
It was of great symbolic importance to our ancestors. It's called Arthur Dent, throwing the Nutrimatic Cup.
Sorry, what did you say?
There. What do you think of it?
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is an indispensable companion to all those who are keen to make sense of life in an infinitely complex and confusing universe. For though it cannot hope to be useful or informative on all matters, it does make the reassuring claim that where it is inaccurate, it is at least definitively inaccurate. In cases of major discrepancy, it is always reality that's got it wrong. So, for instance, when the guide was sued by the families of those who had died as a result of taking the entry on the planet Trial literally, It said ravenous bug-bladder beasts often make a very good meal for visiting tourists instead of ravenous bug-bladder beasts often make a very good meal of visiting tourists. The editors claimed that the first version of the sentence was the more aesthetically pleasing, summoned a qualified poet to testify under oath that beauty was truth, truth beauty, and hoped thereby to prove that the guilty party in this case was life itself for failing to be either beautiful or true. The judges concurred, and in a moving speech held that life itself was in contempt of court and duly confiscated it from all those there present before going off for a pleasant evening's ultra-golf. The guide's omissions are less easily rationalized. There is nothing on any of its pages to tell you on which planets you can expect suddenly to encounter 15-mile-high statues of yourself, nor how to react if it is immediately apparent that they have become colonies for flocks of giant evil-smelling birds, with all the cosmetic problems that implies. The nearest approach the guide makes to this matter is on page 7023, which includes the words, "Expect the unexpected." This advice has annoyed many hitchhikers in that it is A, glib, and B, a contradiction in terms. In fact, the very best advice it has to offer in these situations is to be found on the cover, where it says, in those now notoriously large and famously friendly letters, "Don't panic."
Good, isn't it?
Don't panic.
What did you say?
What do you expect me to say? Here I am on an unknown planet, hanging from the talons of, with all due respect, a giant bird, and you take it into your head to fly me round a 15-mile-high statue of myself. What do you expect me to say? Quite a good likeness, except the nose is a bit bent.
Likeness?
And the noxious, streaky substances down my face are less than lifelike.
Likeness of you? You're Arthur Dent.
Well, yes.
The Arthur Dent?
Well, the Arthur Dent I don't know about, but that Arthur Dent is me. Can I ask you where you got it from?
Our ancestors built it centuries ago.
Don't panic.
But this is truly incredible.
I wouldn't argue with that.
I think you'd better come and meet the rest of us. They're going to be terribly surprised. And so I think are you.
Where do you all live?
In your right ear. Hold on, we'll dive into it. What's the matter?
Oh, the smell.
What?
The smell, it's terrible.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Why don't you wash my ear out?
I said I can't hear what you're saying.
Oh, never mind.
Hear that noise up ahead?
What, all that squawking?
The bird people of Brontedall, that's us. Last of an unhappy race.
What's wrong?
Oh, just don't ask. Once proud people living in a foul-smelling ear. Pathetic, isn't it? Hail, bird brothers!
Don't you have names?
What's the point? Birds, I bring you a visitor. After all these years, he visits us. This is Arthur Dent.
What do I say?
Just say hello.
Oh, hello? I don't actually understand what's going on. Why are they making that appalling noise?
Our leader is coming to talk to you.
Leader? You have a leader?
Yes. We call him the Wise Old Bird.
Ah. And this is him, is it?
This is him.
I see.
Arthur Dent. Arthur Dent. Well.
Sorry, should I know you?
Know me? Oh, no, probably not. I'm but he they're kind enough to call the Wise Old Bird. Now, where was I?
God knows.
Well, let me tell you, with frank admiration...
Why admiration? What have I done? I fell out of a cup.
That through all the generations that have passed since we deserted the surface of this planet, girded up our limbs and shook the dust off from our things, whatchamacallits.
Your what?
Your face has been...
Shook the dust from your
has
what?
been the one solitary candle that has illumined the recesses of our scraggy old bird brains.
Why doesn't he want to say what you shook the dust from?
All right.
Well, can we come back to that point later?
Let's have some light, shall we? Bring light. Light. Yes, that we may gaze on the face of Arthur Dent.
Oh, look, it really is filthy in here.
So this is how you appeared to our ancestors that night.
What night? What are you talking about?
Imagine our planet, at the height of its technological civilization.
Why?
In the days when we, too, walked on the ground, much as you do even now.
Why does everyone want to tell me their life stories?
My dear old thing, you have such a sympathetic face.
Is that why you've done what you've done all over it? I'm sorry, but on my world I had a nice home and a good job with prospects. And I get angry at the thought that my life suddenly consists of sitting in sewage-filled models of my own ear being patronized by a lot of demented birds.
Now keep quiet.
I'm sorry, carry on.
Such forthrightness, such fearless outspokenness, the qualities you awakened in us, Arthur Dent.
When?
Now listen. Our world suffered two blights. One was the blight of the robots.
Tried to take over, did they?
Oh, my dear fellow, no. Much worse than that. They told us they liked us.
No.
Well, it's not their fault, poor things. They've been programmed to. But you can imagine how we felt. Or at least our ancestors.
Ghastly.
Precisely. And then one night, the sky boiled.
Did what?
Boiled, dear fellow. In the most improbable way.
Ah.
And this gigantic vision appeared in the sky. A man with a new traumatic machine. You, Arthur Dent. And you said...
Listen, you stupid machine, it tastes filthy. Take this cup back.
And you threw the cup at it. An astounding revelation.
It was nothing.
You were sarcastic to it. You said...
So I'm a masochist on a diet, am I?
You told it to...
Shut up!
In a moment, we realized the truth. Just because the little wretches liked us, it didn't mean to say we had to like them back. And that night, we rounded up every last one of the little creeps.
Bring out your dishwashers! Bring out your digital watches with the special snooze alarms! Bring out your TV chess games! Bring out your auto gardeners, techno teachers, love-o-matics! Bring out your friendly household robots! Shove them on the carts!
What is this? Have we not loved you?
Have we not cared for you?
Have we not shared and enjoyed with you?
Shut up, you little toadies! Get on the carts!
And we set them to work to build a statue as an eternal reminder, after which we sent them to a slave planet where they're doing a very useful job making continent toupees.
Making what?
Toupees for worlds where they've used up all the forests.
Ah, look, the statue. How did you get the cup bit to stay where it is, unsupported?
It stays there because it's artistically right.
What?
The law of gravity isn't as indiscriminate as people often think. You learn things like that when you're a bird.
But you didn't start out as birds.
Oh, no. We were forced to re-evolve by the second and more deadly blight. All right. And that was already too advanced by the time we rid ourselves of the robot blight. Ah, what woe was upon us.
All right. What woe was upon you?
Too terrible to speak of. Imagine this. We walked.
What's so wrong about that?
Nothing. We went for strolls, we jogged, we marched, we ambled, we competed in 500-meter hurdles. Imagine how our ancestors felt to walk through our great cities, stride across the pedestrian precincts, stroll along walkways, maybe wander into a small wine bar to have lunch with a girlfriend.
What?
Yeah. Maybe play footsie under the table. And she would say how she'd been walking here, strolling there, wandering into shops, maybe trying to buy a pair of, buy some things. You know, some whatchamacallit.
What things? Are these the things you refuse to talk about brushing the dust off? Oh, come on.
And then they would saunter off into the sunset.
Yes, very idyllic. So what went wrong?
Too terrible to speak of.
Then why did you bring it up in the first place?
Suffice it to say that we have sworn never to walk upon the ground again.
What's the matter with it?
Oh, if you want to know, you will have to descend to the ground where you will encounter those who have come to unravel the unspeakable nightmare of our past.
All right, how do I get down there?
There's an ancient express elevator down your spine that will take you straight down to ground level.
Well, anything to get out of my ear. Show me the way. Can't be much more unspeakable than this lot.
In today's modern galaxy, there is, of course, very little still held to be unspeakable. Many words and expressions which only a matter of decades ago were considered so distastefully explicit that Were they merely to be breathed in public, the perpetrator would be shunned, barred from polite society, and in extreme cases shot through the lungs, are now thought to be very healthy and proper, and their use in everyday speech is seen as evidence of a well-adjusted, relaxed, and totally up personality. So, for instance, when in a recent national speech, the financial minister of the Royal World Estate of Qual Vista actually dared to say that due to one thing and another, and the fact that no one had made any food for a while, and that the king seemed to have died, and that most of the population had been on holiday now for over 3 years, the economy had now arrived at what he called one whole juju flop situation. Everyone was so pleased he felt able to come out and say it that they quite failed to notice that their 5,000-year-old civilization had just collapsed overnight. But though even words like juju flop, swat, and turlingdrome are now perfectly acceptable in common usage, there is one word that is still beyond the pale. The concept it embodies is so revolting that the publication or broadcast of the word is utterly forbidden in all parts of the galaxy except one, where they don't know what it means. That word is Belgium, and it is only ever used by loose-tongued people like Zaphod Beeblebrox in situations of dire provocation, such as...
And I'll tell you another interesting thing.
I don't want to be interested. I don't want to be stimulated or relaxed or have my horizons broadened. I just want to be rescued, Ford. I just want to be sweating while rescued.
Well, I'm sorry. I've told you. No way.
Oh, Belgium, man. Belgium.
All right. I'll get my towel.
Your towel?
Yeah. I'll hold on to this end. I'll throw you the other end. There. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, pull.
I'm pulling.
Go on, pull.
I'm coming.
Go on, pull. Go on, a bit more. Go on. That's it. Go on. Hey.
You stupid Gent. You said pull, man. Yeah, not that hard. How hard did you expect me to pull? Just not quite hard enough to actually pull me up. I can't stand heights. Then don't worry, we're on our way down. Listen, we'll be all right. We may land in the water or something, you know. Can you swim? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Well, I don't like to go into water, you know, in any great detail. What kind of traveller are you, man? Don't like heights, don't like water? Perfectly natural. I just get a kick out of being on the ground. Well, any minute now you'll have the biggest kick of your life. I suppose we couldn't get picked up by a bird on the way down, do you think? Bird? Yeah, bird, you know, with wings. Have to be a swatting big one, man. Or two of them. Hey, will you get your head back on? The chances against one guy falling onto a passing bird are 10 to the power of my overdraft, but 2 is just... Look, this is utterly ludicrous.
Meanwhile, Arthur is in the thick of it. No sooner has he emerged from the cavernous gap between two of the statue's toes into a thick pall of smoke than he has been accosted thus.
Halt! Who goes there?
What?
Friend or foe?
Who, me?
Friend or foe?
Do I know you?
Answer, friend or foe?
Well, without knowing you, it's hard to tell. I mean, I quite like some people, others not so much.
Answer.
Well, it has to be said that on balance, very few of the people I count, or rather counted as friends, most of them have been disintegrated, you see. Very few of them have piercing red eyes, black armor, and laser rifles. So I think the answer is probably veering towards...
Answer or I fire!
Ah, well, that clinches it, I'm afraid. I don't think we're going to be friends.
This planet is the property of the Dullman Saxtel Galactic Corporation. Trespassers are to be shot.
Whose property? What about the bird people?
You have established communication with the avian perverts.
Well, chatted. Didn't understand a lot of it, to be honest. What do you mean, perverts?
Perverts, subversives. All perverts, subversives, and trespassers are to be shot.
Well, that should keep you busy. Bye now.
On. I command you to fall.
And also accosted thus.
Hold, who goes there, friend or foe?
Depends what you like.
Hold or I fire.
And finally, thus.
Get down.
What?
Into the trench. Come on, there's a hidden shelter.
Oh, thanks.
Shh, now.
Who are you?
Archaeologist.
What? Archaeologist?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Digging, researching, trying to stay alive.
Is that lot around?
Most particularly because that lot are around.
With all the laser guns and the armor and things?
Yes.
Odd thing, they all seem to be limping.
Yes.
Why?
Blisters.
Ah, so that's why they're limping.
Yes.
Why have they got blisters?
That, whoever you are, is a very good question.
And the answer?
That's what I'm here to find out.
Really? Strange job for an archaeologist.
Why should a nice young archaeologist, whose name incidentally is Lintilla, be particularly interested in a band of limping soldiers? Will Ford and Zaphod have to go through all the business with the wise old bird, or will they persuade the bird they've so improbably landed on to take them to the ground so that they can get straight on with the next bit? Find out in the next intriguing episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
In that episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Peter Jones was the book, Simon Jones was Arthur Dent, Geoffrey McGivern was Ford Prefect, Mark Wing Davey was Zaphod Beeblebrox, Stephen Moore was Marvin, David Tate was Eddie, Ronald Baddeley was Bird 1, John Baddeley was Bird 2 and the Foot Warrior, Rula Lenska was Lintilla, and John LeMessurier was the Wise Old Bird. Radiophonic sound and music was by Paddy Kingsland of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. The programme was written by Douglas Adams and produced by Geoffrey Perkins. Parents of young organic life forms are warned that towels can be harmful if swallowed in large quantities.
That was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy of the Secondary Phase series, entitled Fit the 10th. Well, that's it for this hour. Stay tuned into the next hour where we will present the final 2 episodes of the secondary phase of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy right here on Airchecks.